Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Dana from Nice Second Dancehall. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not new to my channel, welcome back. I know you guys came here for our words of wisdom, looking for words of encouragement and inspiration. However, unfortunately, today's episode is suspended until next week with the passing of Mr. Anthon Boney, aka Boombay, who, as you would know if you follow the Trinidad music movement, is affiliated with some of our beloved artists such as Tobago, to name one. There was a press conference with regards to his passing and what we can expect going forward, and a call for peace and unity to continue. So stay tuned, guys. We have the full coverage of this media conference for you to view. And like I said, from next week, we'll be back again with our words of wisdom. Love and blessings.
Boomland hillside, yeah, relock tongue dog west side, yeah, cash money bling bling, two gal one time come me pim pim.
Good afternoon to all. Y'all know who I am, for those who don't know. I am important. This is why we are here. Y'all know I'm a celebrity, yes, but I am a neutral. I support all people, all race, and all colors, and numbers, 1 to 10. Doesn't matter what numbers they are. Today we have a tragic passing of, y'all know, Mr. Boombay. And the last convo we had was on the peace, and our future convo was to be maintaining the peace between the Rasta and Muslim. And that's a 13-year-old war. So we try to keep that and maintain the peace so that the Muslim future of the youth can progress, and also the Rasta. We have a reason to believe that Boombay killing was not gang related, because there was no clear of defined motive. Both sides made a peace last year ending, like I said again, 13-year-old war, which is people, which communities suffered the most. And the respect of, there's been no gang related hits, killing between the Rasta and Muslim, contrary to the social media attention there has been. We are here for the peace of the progress. And I would like to say, please, Citizen Trinidad, I'm here with Umar Abdullah. He's been the next person who will be talking in the podium, and also John Castani. Thank you. My name is Kevin G. Da Costa, as well known, I know as Johnny Bravo.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and I seek refuge in Allah from Shaitan the accursed. First of all, I want to welcome the media, those persons who have made it an effort to be here, to answer a call that we made at the 11th hour to address a very important issue that is before us right now. For those of you who are unaware, we are still trying to treat with the news of the killing of Boombay, who we all know was the leader of the Muslim city, as we normally would have heard the police referring to it. And this perhaps would have been the reason for the murder of another young man in the John community later today. Now, we are here today to inform the nation, Trinidad and Tobago, sitting around this table, a part of a team called the employers. And we would have employed the government and its agencies to properly run the affairs of this twin island state, Trinidad and Tobago. But however, there has been a number of issues that has occurred that will cause not just myself and my organization, but also a number of other persons in this country to question whether or not democracy still exists. In our view, we believe that democracy has been cancelled. And the only two symbols remaining in our country that can unite the entire population of Trinidad and Tobago is our national flag and the national anthem. With this being said, I want to urge, in response to the killing of our brother Boombay in Karani earlier on today, I want to urge all persons who may have a vested interest in responding to this murder to be very cautious and to understand what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. And by that, I am calling on all individuals to maintain peace and order as it would have prevailed for the last year and a half. As my brother on the left would have said earlier, this Muslim city, Rasta city war, 13 years old. And for the last year and a half, we would have experienced peace and harmony amongst these two groups. And if one were to ask the question, what was the motive behind the killing of Boombay, if it were in fact gang related, we still can't yet answer that question. It's very possible. But if you were to ask me to point out some prevailing issues or prevailing circumstances that existed pre the murder of Boombay, I would tell you that within the prison system, there was a move by the prison authorities under the watchful eyes of our Minister of National Security to move high-risk prisoners, Muslim high-risk prisoners, from their cells and to be placed in Building 13, which is now called the Wayne Jackson Building, or the Wayne Jackson Center. And this move by prison authorities was very confusing to us, because the police and the army was placed in charge of Building 13. Yes, there were other prison officers as well working alongside the police and the army, but the police and the army was in charge. And they would oftentimes agitate the prisoners to the point of reaction, and which would have led to the injury and life-threatening injuries to prisoners. We saw this as an attempt to incite those men or those inmates to react violently, not just within the prison walls, but on the outside as well. And also, we would question why. What was the motive behind this move? As I would have questioned in two previous press releases. Today, we were told that a vehicle pulled alongside Boombay's vehicle, asking to pull aside, which he did, and shots was fired at his vehicle, killing him on the spot. Why would Boombay pull aside? Why would he obey the instructions of these persons if in fact they were not law enforcement officers? People may say that these persons were dressed like police officers, as we were often told, but it does not make sense. It makes more sense to me that some sinister plot was at play here when those Muslim brothers was moved from their cells in the prison and placed in the Wayne Jackson building. The other thing is, we have to recognize that this obviously would cause the Muslim city to react and to respond to the killing of their leader, thinking that it may perhaps be the action of the Rastas. But I want to make it absolutely clear to our Muslim brothers, the Rastas, they are our brothers as well. They are our neighbors. And I'm asking and I'm instructing that at no point in time should we react violently to what took place today. There perhaps might be a move by our institutions to further lock down Trinidad and Tobago and extend the SOE. What better reason would they have than to create a war between the Muslims and the Rastas? This would be a perfect excuse to further lock us down. We also have to keep in mind there are other things at play. COVID-19, the rollout of a robust vaccine program, the demand of our employers demanding our employees to be vaccinated or else they won't have a job. The demand on students to get vaccinated or else they would not have an education. The demand on mothers, pregnant mothers, to be vaccinated or else they would not get treatment. My dear fellow citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and all those parties interested in understanding what is at play here must understand that we are not going to play that card. That card that the government and the security forces, and when I make mention of the government and the security forces, I'm referring to the rogue elements within our government and the security forces. We are not going to play that card. That card of violence, that card of reacting violently and indiscipline, we're not going to play that card. We are going to respond with discipline. And we are going to respond very calmly, and we are going to respond with non-violence. We are asking the authorities to launch a thorough investigation into the shooting death of Boombay earlier on today, and also the shooting death of the young man in John later on today. We are calling on the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, to present himself for a meeting with us so that we can discuss the future of the security of this country, Trinidad and Tobago. We have a number of issues that needs to be addressed, that we believe that the Commissioner has to address. And if this is not addressed, we are going to expect chaos in Trinidad and Tobago. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of both the Rasta city and the Muslim city to remain calm at this time. Like I said, we are brothers, we are neighbors, we are friends. Let us not allow people with this system of governance to separate us and to pull us apart. We are to unite. We are to come together as one people, as the flag would represent, where every creed and race find an equal place. Together we aspire, together we achieve discipline, tolerance, and production. It says it all. Who are we? Who are we in the face of all of this? Presently, for those of you who are unaware, one of the ports in China has been shut down indefinitely. Shipping companies across the globe have ground to a halt. To freight a container into Trinidad is $21,000, increased from $12,500 to $22,000. We the citizens have to bear that increase. Farmers cannot get seeds. They cannot no longer get pesticides and insecticides to treat with their crops. What do you think is going to happen? This is the bigger agenda. While they are causing us to fight and to look at each other with disdain and with hate, they are continuing with their agenda. That agenda is to destroy our humanity, to take away our rights, to take away our free choice and our freedom of movement. And this is another attempt by the rogue agencies to do just that. Open your eyes, my brothers. See the bigger picture. It is not about you and I fighting each other. That's what they want us to do. While we're doing that, we'll be distracted from what is really happening. Before we know it, we lose our land. We will lose our properties. We will lose our jobs. Our children will lose the privilege of going to school. And we will lose the privilege of healthcare in this country. Let us not allow that to happen. Let us be wide awake and understand what is happening. Put down your guns. Put down your guns. Let us hug in the streets. Let us hold hands and walk. You Rastas and you Muslims. Let us show the rogue agencies that we are about love. We are about peace. And we are not about war. We want a future for our children. And we want betterment for this country. So with that said, like I said, I don't think I can emphasize enough the importance to lay down your weapons and do not react negatively to what took place today. Boombay's death is a lesson for all of us. And it's also a turning point. And perhaps what Boombay could not have done while he was alive, his death today is going to do just that. Boombay's death is going to unite us. Rastas and Muslims. Let Boombay's death be the catalyst for us to unite and for us to see the truth And for us not to get carried away by what they are telling us, or what they are hinting to us, that we must do this and we must do that. We're smarter than that. We came from the same Father. We came from the loins of the same Father. We are brothers. Let us show these rogue agencies the true power of love and peace. Thank you.
Pleasant day, everyone. My name is John Martin Castani. John Martin Castani, C-A-S-T-A-G-N-E. I am the grandson of the composer of the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. I would like to give you all just a brief history of why myself and Mr. DeCosta is here and how we've come to be on this platform right now with Brother Omar. It is for the people that we stand. In my grandfather's words that were for the nation, he had a simple dream as we all do today. A dream like Martin Luther King, but even simpler, where every creed and race will find an equal place. In this country of Trinidad and Tobago, a paradise to many, it has been for the past 2 years hell for a lot of people. Economically, for children who have not been provided the privilege of being educated, we have had our rights restricted to the point where we do not know how we are going to eat. We have certain situations in this country that is dividing us, pitting the privileged against the underprivileged. It is no longer about race, because we are one race. It is about the people. It is about our future. We need to stand together now more than ever before. Stand for our rights, human rights. Rights come before laws, and I will repeat that. Rights, human rights, come before laws. And as a matter of fact, laws are supposed to protect the rights of us who are financing our government and our society, and who are supposed to live in this society. My brothers and sisters, my Muslims, my Rastas, my Hindus, my Christians, let us go back to what we know as Trinidadians. What we know is culture, creativity, passion, hard work. Let's get back to that. We have to live in this society. Let us take control of our society. Let us make every creed and race find an equal place right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Let us stand together and let us fight for our rights, our right to employment, our right to education, our right to freedom of movement, freedom of expression. We are not getting answers from the government as to how we are going to eat, but we are being told what to do with our children when we are not given the answers as to how to feed our children. And then someone like Boombay passes tragically like it has happened today, and automatically we are at it against one another, losing another father to a child, an innocent man, unaffiliated with anything, because of ignorance. We cannot allow the ignorance and the debauchery of who we are as Trinidadians that runs our politics to run us. We need to be brothers of peace and progress now more than ever before. So I would like to implore every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago to stand for their rights, and let us stop and ask questions before we act. Let us call on the relevant authorities to give us the answers that we demand before giving us orders that we don't agree with. I would just like to simply finish by saying it is a pleasure, it is an honor to finally sit with brothers and represent the Trinidad now more than ever before, the unity that we need to have for us to move forward. Let us put those in authority to the test as to making sure that we can live a fair, equitable life for all. It is your duty, Government of Trinidad and Tobago, to ensure that every creed and race can find an equal place right here in Trinidad, a sovereign nation of this world, and by the Human Rights Convention, Geneva Convention, by the Human Rights Bill of Rights, we stand united, and we will fight with love and with consciousness and with togetherness for the future of this country and the children of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
Now open the floor for any questions from the media. Anybody wants to ask any question for the clarity or? All right. So we bring an end to the press conference that we called. Just want to thank the media for coming out, and we also want to, I want to thank my brothers on my left and on my right. It's a privilege to stick with greatness, I would say. Let us go forward in peace, and let us emphasize the harm that should be echoed to the rest of the society. With that,
Boomland hillside, yeah, relock tongue dog west side, yeah, cash money bling bling, 2 gal one time call me pimpin'.